Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great start to the year. I hope you're having a great kind of January. I know we're kind of near the end of January now, heading into February, so I hope the first month of the year has been awesome. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to review the images that everybody has sent in to me. Well, I'm going to review the images of a handful of people who sent photos in off of the back of the video that I did back in December, where I was reviewing Chris's images. And I'm gonna what I've done is everybody's sent in like 2 or 3, which is amazing, and there's been some brilliant photos. What I've done is I've picked out a selection, and I'm just gonna show off kind of like my favorite photo from everybody. Well, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show off my favorite photo from the people that I've got in front of me. So rather than kind of going through everybody's photos and going through all the photos, so like 3 per person, what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to like pick out my favorites, because otherwise this video is going to be like 45 minutes long and nobody's got time for that. So I'm going to drop them up on screen and stuff so you can see them. There's some really cool stuff here, and really quite impressed with this, with the quality of the community that we've got going here, which is really cool. So this first one is from Pascal, and it's a snowboarder. What looks to be on half pipe and stuff. Really cool. Shot on a 1DX, shot at nearly 350, so like on a big like 300-400mm lens. Like it's a really good capture. I love the kind of context that it's in. It's not just kind of this snowboarder up in the sky. It's also not kind of too tight in so that you lose everything. You know, you've got the mountains and you've got the snow in the background, you've got the spectator on the side, you've got that kick up of snow dust as well off the edge of the half pipe, which is really cool. The red kind of flag feels a bit distracting and stuff. Maybe that's worth a crop out, or maybe that's worth a kind of content aware fill remove thingy in Photoshop to kind of get it out. But I really love this. I would have loved to have seen like an even wider version of this if the peaks of the mountains kind of then come into frame, but without seeing the actual mountains in the background, it's hard to kind of pinpoint that, but that would kind of be cool. But I love this image, it's really ace. The next one we have came in from Shane. This is an Arkansas American football player, I'm guessing. It's really cool. Yes, okay, I get that the hand can be quite distracting, but I kind of love that. Yeah, okay, it's a bit dominant in the frame, but I like that it provides some context. Like this player is going down and high-fiving people as they're coming out, so to have that hand in frame actually for me kind of works, even though maybe it's a bit dominant. I might have just cropped in just a touch just to make it, that hand appear kind of in the bottom corner of frame a bit more. But I love this, like the player's eyes are really sharp, which is ace. It's not easy to do when someone's got a helmet on or anything like that. Trust me, from a triathlon point of view, I know how hard it is at times to get the eyes in focus if you've got like a helmet and stuff on, so that's really cool. Again, Shane shot this on a 1DX on what looks to be quite a wide angle lens, which is cool. It's just a really good capture. I really like it. I like that there's plenty of context and it's not too isolated. I like that's really cool. So this one's come in from Mayank. Sorry if I'm pronouncing names wrong. So he's a Loughborough sport student. So I do a lot of work at Loughborough University because that's where Loughborough Lightning are, and that's where Loughborough Sport are based, and I do an awful lot of work with Loughborough Sport. Very good people, some of my favourite clients down in Loughborough. They're also the home of things like England Netball and British Triathlon and British Swimming and all those kind of things. So there's a whole crop of really good sport talent down in Loughborough, dead good. So this one is from obviously one of the student football games. I like it in the fact that it's a really cool action shot. The player's very dominant in frame. I like that. I like that the other player in the white, defender I guess, is kind of in there as in context. I like that. Kind of shows there's a competition for the ball. And this is shot on a Canon 60, which is a really good camera starting out. I like this. It's the football player's face, the main player's face is a bit warm, it's a bit orange, and I know there's something that I at times do. I kind of over warm the photos and then the skin tones come off a little bit funny. But it looks like it's sort of autumn winter day, so like I know how hard that is at times to shoot, because the sunlight, the quality of the yellow in the sunlight that time of year is really quite a challenge. So I really like this one. It's a really good kind of starter image. This one's come in from Francisco. This is, not quite sure where this is, but I love this. It's clearly a ITU World Cup kind of photo from what I can guess, but I really like this one because this is the kind of stuff that I try and do to my best ability. So as that runner's coming up that path, what you can do is you can go dead straight in front of that runner and photograph that runner coming towards you. But actually you can take the surroundings in as well by just taking a step to the side and like shooting through the bush, so to speak. So it's really nicely framed how she's in between the trees and she's kind of like appearing out of that foreground, which is ace. Really like that. The glasses are really sharp. There's some really cool reflections in glasses. Shooting triathlon, especially in really hot sunny days, one of my favourite things to do is get reflection off of glasses, because these guys and girls always have like the best Oakleys and stuff that is available. So I love the reflections, I love the fact that she's nice and sharp. It's just a really good cool image in my opinion. Next one's from Craig. Craig's a local photographer to me, local sports photographer to me, really just starting out on the journey. His stuff is really good. I really like what Craig does on a local level. I've got a lot of time for Craig and his work. It's really cool. So this one is of a local runner going through a water station. Tons of these on like local 10Ks and 5Ks or anywhere around the world. I like that, again, there's context to this. It's not just a really tight crop of the runner kind of with water droplets coming off him, which would be cool, don't get me wrong, but I love the fact that there's hands holding out cups. I love the fact that in the background before that red runner there's another hand with another cup coming in. I love that. The only thing I would say, Craig, is just take a careful look at the face of your lead runner. You're using quite a lot of shadows in there to bring him out, which is cool because you get this nice bright image, but you've got this kind of like mottled HDR effect on the face, so just pull those shadows back a touch. It's okay for him to be a little bit dark because you don't want to overdo it. But I really love this one. It's really cool. You can clearly see it's a bit backlit because like the hairs on his arms and stuff are being shown through from the sun and that. It's really cool. Really like that. I'm always one for water stations and stuff. I quite like that. It's cool. So this one's coming from Claire. Claire's all the way from Australia. G'day. I love this one because Tommy Spheris does this stuff, right? Tommy does this really well when we're out on ITU World Cup races and World Series races, is he isolates a rider on a course in a very plain background. So there's no like traffic cones, there's no banners, there's no barriers, nothing. And what Claire's done is she's isolated this rider on a very clean background. It's a panning shot. I haven't got the metadata in the image, so I can't actually tell you like how slow the shutter speed is on this. But that rider's like really sharp all the way through. It shows loads of speed. The feet are still moving, which I always think is really good on a panning thing. Anything like this where it's kind of like triathletes down on aero bars is really good, because when you're panning with that rider, they're still, so you can get the body and the hands and the helmet and then all of the bike tack sharp still as the bike's moving through, and all you're then left with is that motion from the feet, which always looks really cool. Love this image, Claire. It's really good. I would straighten it ever so slightly because I get that rider might be going downhill, but I feel like I just want to like notch it and straighten it up. This is it last one coming from Jeff. Again, it's another panning shot. The reason I picked this one out of the ones that Jeff sent me is kind of takes me back to my motorsport days, and it's been a while since I've done some motorsport, and superbikes and motorbikes in general are always really cool to shoot. I used to really like them. Again, this is a pan. I don't have the metadata on this, so I don't know how fast or slow the pan is, but that bike is lovely and tack sharp. I love the fact that you can still see the rider's face kind of like through the perspex cover on the front of the bike and through the visor on the helmet. I love that. I love that there's loads and loads of motion. I like that it's nice and clean. One of the things that is a perennial problem for anyone shooting slow motion pan work is it picks up all the dirt on your sensor. So if your sensor isn't like really clean, it's really easy to pick out those dark spots. I don't get the sense there's been a great deal of cleanup here, to be fair. From looking at the image pretty closely, it doesn't look like it's been cleaned. so that means our sensor's probably really, really clean anyway. But I just love like how glossy and nice this photo looks. It is quite tight crop. For me, what I would probably do if it was me, I'd probably pull out a little bit and bring that rider down in frame, so it looks like, so it gives that rider somewhere to move into for me. But that's just a personal preference. But I love this, love that the colours pop, love that there's loads of motion in it. Bike photography, motorbike photography at speed like this for me is always a winner. Like it, and it's nice to have something a bit different, because obviously I talk about triathlon and netball quite a lot. These have been ace. Thank you ever so much for people sending them in. I will probably do another one of these later in the year. There's an awful lot of video content and stuff that I'm going to put out in the next couple of weeks because life is super busy. This is probably the busiest first month of the year I've ever had, so it's a bit insane. So I don't really have the time, like in the next couple of weeks, to sit down and like review everything and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll put a video out and I'll announce when I'm doing another review. So keep working and keep shooting until then, and then when I shout it out, just drop them in, send them in, and we'll do another review. If you haven't already, click subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, hit like if you've liked it. I do really, really appreciate that. If you haven't already, give me a follow on Instagram. Always appreciate that very muchly too. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your day. Oh, that coffee's repeating on me. Ooh. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you again very soon. Cheers.